Do you know Yuri Gagarin and Dennis Tito? Correct. They were the first people in space. One professional, the other private. Gagarin started in 1961. Only 40 years later, in 2001, the first space travel tourist, Dennis Tito, followed him. And for $200,000, you too can spend your holidays on, for example, Mars, if the plan works out. Maybe you can earn that money by investing in this scene. Our new zeitgeist is space travel. Old space becomes new space. The space industry is increasingly privatized, and this opens up new investment opportunity. From the reusable rocket to the first holiday flight to Mars, the plans of such companies as SpaceX and Blue Origin are ambitious, and Werthstein has found the companies that can profit from this trend.
State-run enterprises like NASA have long since receded into the background, making place for multi-billionaires like these. Tesla boss Elon Musk plans to fly 2 private individuals to Mars already at the end of 2018. The other is Amazon founder Jeff Bezos with his company Blue Origin. He's also working on a recycled rocket. And one man wanted to begin commercial flights into space 10 years ago. British billionaire Richard Branson with his Virgin Galactic project.
Branson recently said he would be very disappointed if his spaceship did not fly into space this year and transport tourists next year. But after 10 years of delay, he does not want to commit himself. Valerie Planiol, Werthstein Institute Fellow in Paris. How realistic are the plans for private space travel in the near future?
Well, there are still many challenges, technological and financial, to solve before we can send someone to Mars. And also, this industry is still quite subsidized, with NASA providing orders, launch pad and other kind of support.
So there's more behind it than just a week of vacation on the Mars for the space travelers?
Oh, much more than this. The key word is affordability and flexibility, the capacity to send larger cargo to the space station, to put many satellites around the Earth for geolocalization, and we want more of that, and also many countries wanting to send their own astronauts into space.
Giles Keating, president of the Werthstein Institute in London. Have you already bought your ticket to Mars?
Not yet. But look, you know, historians have this big debate about the impact of individuals. Napoleon, Nelson Mandela, did they really change the course of history? Well, if we look at space travel, the old space, which was run by governments, that's more or less not so important now. The new space, which is run by the private sector, is really growing. And there, I think you really can put most of that down to one man, Elon Musk.
That means investing in SpaceX?
Well, yes, SpaceX is Elon Musk's company, but you can't invest in it directly. It's privately held. So the solution at Werthstein, we found lots of companies that do business with SpaceX, make use of what it's providing. That's the way to do it.
This brings us to the question, which sectors benefit from the new era in space travel? Robert Ruttmann, Werthstein Institute Fellow in Zurich. Have you got the answer?
I think very clearly the biggest beneficiaries are going to be the companies that produce communication satellites, significantly more than anything else. But I also think suppliers of rocket launchers and then also specialty materials that are used in space to produce spacesuits, energy packs and this sort of thing will also likely benefit.
And now I'm glad that we can welcome Dominik Müller. He is financial analyst at the oldest private bank in Switzerland, Rahn and Bodmer, and brings a lot of expertise to this subject. Hello, Dominik Müller in Zurich.
Hello to Frankfurt from Zurich.
$200,000 for a ticket to Mars. Are there enough interested rich people to make this industry profitable?
Well, I think the length of the journey and the inconveniences that come with it will certainly narrow the scope of interested parties. But I see lots of economically viable ventures, as it were, in suborbital space travel. That is zero gravity experiences, but almost fast travel between continents. And this is something that will cater to many more people, I presume.
As always, speaking of return on investment, Giles Keating, what is the assessment of the companies? How much fantasy is already included in the prices?
Well, look, you look at the chart, there clearly is a lot of good news already in those prices. But I think Dominique has just said it. There are so many ways in which the whole space travel is going to affect our lives. And so I think there is just so much potential that is still there.
I must admit, weightless in the space, looking at our Earth, that would be something for me too. But we have heard that space tourism is just one aspect of a trend that is interesting to invest in, because the possibilities are, in the truest sense of the word, limitless. If you want to be there too, add the new Zeitgeist space travel to your portfolio.